Well, New Orleans is not the only area where the Mississippi River is at flood stage. Further upriver in Morganza, they're considering opening the spillway there, and the river has already flooded the Fore Bay area, which has some of the most productive farmland in this area. As TWILA's Neil Melancon tells us, it's an additional challenge for one young farmer as the waters get higher on the levees that surround her land.
Cows idly grazing on a levee is a common sight in Louisiana, but these cows are blissfully unaware of the danger right on the other side. Here in Morganza, the Mississippi River is almost at the top of the levee and has flooded into the Fore Bay area here, covering 4,000 acres of prime cropland. This is the so-called potato levee that normally protects this area, but as you can see, it was overtopped long ago. Catherine Floyd normally farms soybeans on these lands, but that's probably off for this year. Right now, she's counting on what lands are protected to stay that way, especially with the wheat crop looking so good.
I think our wheat crop this year looks good. It's a little thin in some spots, maybe where we have some water, some drainage issues. But this is it's all Jamestown.
NRCS District Conservationist Candace Voorhees is working with Catherine to reduce erosion and restoring soil health. However, the wet spring so far is definitely dampening those efforts. Catherine does have a wide variety of crops on her 10,000 acres, including this winter wheat, but also sugarcane, soybeans, and crawfish. Candace says NRCS helps Catherine through various programs to give each one an advantage in spite of their different needs.
They also implement a conservation crop rotation and residue management where they keep about 30% of residue in the field at all times, and that really helps keep the soil in the field.
Meanwhile, as long as the river stays behind the levee, Catherine is happy with the progress being made. She says the results of her partnership with NRCS speak for themselves.
So I'm looking for this this field to yield pretty well. Hopefully, I know in the last not last year, but the year before that, we did have some issues with vomitoxin in our wheat. So hopefully this year we don't have any issues with the vomitoxin.
The Mississippi River has reached its crest and it's on the way down for now. However, a single storm event could change that, and further, there's a lot of snowpack in the north. We could see these conditions again this spring. Kristen, there's a lot of water out there, and it's a lot for a young farmer like Catherine to manage, but she's doing a great job out there. She's got a lot of land, and it's just a shame that, you know, all that good ice cream land, as Mike Danny used to like to call it, is underwater.
Well, if I'm a betting woman, I would bet that this is going to happen again, because this reminds me a lot of 2011, but the difference is that this is, you know, February, March when this is happening, and that happened in May.
Yeah.
So I'd say we're not out of the woods yet.
Yeah, there was a big snowstorm that just moved through this past week, you know, and so, I mean, that's just more water that's going to come down. Hopefully there's enough gap in there so it slows down.
Well, keep our fingers crossed. Great story, Neil Melancon.